Assalamu alaikum. My name is Muhammad Hamad and I have recently passed Certified Ethical Hacker Practical Exam on 17th of August 2022 and I'm just creating this video on 27th. So this video is a detailed review about what the CEH Practical Exam is, and you're going to get a lot of detail that is otherwise missed on other reviews, which I felt also while I was preparing. So you'll also get the written version of this video, and this is the written version. I have wrote down all of the details, and this is the content that I'm going to talk about in this video. First of all, what this CEH Practical Exam is, I'm going to share some of the details from here, because this is the part about you can search on the internet on this page as well. You can read the other blogs as well. You'll get a lot of information about this exam, what this actually is. I'm also going to share this, but the main agenda or motivation of this video is to tell you the things you do not get to know otherwise. So I would start with how I prepared for CEH Practical Exam, the analysis about this exam, my 6-step methodology to prepare for this exam. Then I would talk about that how you need to schedule and when you need to schedule the exam. There was my plan B about if my internet or electricity would go down, what were my 3 confusions before taking up the exam. And then when I started the exam, what mistakes I did initially and which made me nervous. What is the first look of test? Does the attacker virtual machine have working internet connection? And then what happened when I started reading the question. I would share some sample question. I was also concerned about taking a look at what to expect as a question in the CEH Practical Exam, because other people are not sharing their exam questions with you, and you do not get to know a lot of detail about what kind of question and what areas you need to touch the most in order to prepare for this test. Then what was my strategy during exam, and the strategy now I feel that I should have followed. I'll discuss that, and then I would share some steps I have followed during the exam. So as we know that there are 20 modules of this exam, so I would share that what kind of knowledge you must have in these sections, like what kind of questions are there in cryptography, and what tools you need to know in this hashing or encoding, or what are the things you need to prepare in these individual modules, and what were the confusion elements or confusion points that I'm still confused about. And this is a detailed review. I would upload this to some other I guess Medium or GitHub somewhere, and there are details link as well about my strategy and other things you need to know about this exam. So if you are interested in this, I'm going to share all of these details in this video, and I think this would be a very detailed video about CEH Practical Exam. So let's start with what is this EC Council CEH Practical Exam is. So this is the official page of Certified Ethical Hacker from EC Council, and this is the roadmap if you want to be a pen tester and you need to get the certification from EC Council related to pen tester. So you need to do CND, then CEH ANSI, which is related to theoretical questions only. If you want to have a practical certification, then you'll have to sign up for CEH Practical. This is the top level certification in the core area. Then you move to advanced for CPENT, and then for expert you have to do LPT. So let's see what this CEH Practical Exam is. It is a 6-hour exam. It's a rigorous exam that requires you to demonstrate the application, blah blah blah. There is a lot of stuff like this. So you'll get 20 real life scenarios according to them, which is not very real life. So you'll get 20 real life scenarios, and you need to pass 70% of them, and 70% of 20 is actually you need to solve 14 questions right. You'll get 6 hours. Okay, and the availability is through Aspen. I'll show you what this Aspen is. This is a simulated lab environment in which you will get the 20 practical lab questions, and you have to run the tools, and then you'll have to figure out what the question is, and then you'll have to get the flag out of that machines. Okay, the eligibility criteria is you have to, there is no predefined eligibility criteria for those attempting CEH Practical Exam. You'll have to apply on store.exe council, and you'll get the certification for $550. Okay, and this is the EC Council store. Okay, and once you'll sign up for this, you'll get the 365 days to attempt the test. This is the voucher that you are going to get. Okay, coming back to here, so I would discuss this section in detail in this video also. So you have some training options with you as well, provided by CEH. So for training, you'll have to come over this link, aspen.ecouncil.org, and let's sign up. Then I'll show you what training options you get. So these are the training options: iLearn, iWeek, Classroom. So there are different things. For example, in one mode of study, there is an instructor-led training that would be a live session. Okay, you are going to interact with the instructor. In self-study mechanism, you are going to get the videos from the EC Council about the training. And there are some other different kind of training mechanisms as well. So I'll show you that how I have trained myself. If you have to pay separate money, and based on if you only need videos or you need one-to-one instructor, your exam price or your training price would heavily change. So let's discuss that how I have prepared for the exam. So let's start. Let me open my folder first for you, which is here. So whatever resources I had collected, I have saved those in my system in very organized manner. Let me see where these are. So here I am. So this section is how I prepared for CEH Practical Exam. So I thought to make a comprehensive learning plan. So I started by reading blogs and watching reviews of CEH Practical holders. Many of them were bashing EC Councils. Others were saying it is an average complexity test, and some were saying it is not as simple as people misguides you, because you had to have actual knowledge of pen testing tools. So I had 3 different opinions in total, and now my task was to learn the reasons for each of the opinion. So this is what I have to say about the certification. This test is a very good start in pen testing, as it would familiarize you with the various diverse areas of security assessment and gives you hands-on practice regarding some tools of pen testing. So this is how I started. So coming back to the topic, as I have not purchased iLab from EC Council because I'll have to pay some other money for that. So here's what I did. I found a YouTube channel named as Offensive Hacks, and in this channel there is a playlist related to CEH Practical, and I have downloaded all of the videos from iLabs onto my local system, because I was not sure when those videos are going to get deleted by the owner, or maybe maybe the channel would get copyright claim somehow. So this is the channel. Let's open this, Offensive Hacks CEH Practical. There are 13 videos, I think. This is the playlist. So if what this is actually, it actually contains a screen recording of all of the major modules of iLabs of EC Council. So I had seen all those initially because it gives you a great idea about official content of CEH. So let's open anyone from this. So when you'll buy the iLabs from EC Council, this is the interface that you are going to get. Here you are going to get what to do with the lab. These are the operating system, and on the right hand side you are going to get some instructions that what to do on the left hand side. And in this way, this is a guided practical training through which you can train yourself, and you also get to know what is the official content of CEH exam. So I recommend you to watch all of these videos first of all. Then what is my step 2? In step 2, I had downloaded the official CEH theory book and CEH lab manual. Let's open. This is from official CEH version 11 book, and let's see how many pages it contains. It contains 3,219 pages inside it, and the lab manual has approximately 1,800 pages. Let's be open for that. So this book is of 1,800 pages. Okay, so whatever you are going to see in those offensive hack videos of iLabs, consider this as the written version of those labs. Okay, these are the snapshots of each and every step. Okay, you can see here, these are the snapshots of all of the things you may had seen on offensive hack CEH practical videos. So I recommend to read only lab manual, as it is enough and it is kind of written version of iLab content with snapshot of each process. So these are, so which means that we have to close this theory book and we have to only focus our efforts on this CEH version 11 lab book. Okay, so in lab book of CEH there is a lot of repetition. Let me tell you why. Because in every chapter lab setup creations are repeated. So I thought it's not a good idea to suffer again from these 1803 pages once I would feel revision. So while reading lab handbook, I took snapshot of important things from here and created a new book of snapshots. This new book of snip is less than 300 pages and it is very easy to read this short book multiple times. Let me show you what how I created that book. So this is the short book for quick review. So let's open this. So here you can see that from this 1803 pages I have customized the book to 305 pages and all of the repetition was removed and only necessary things and commands were left behind in this, and it covers all the 20 modules. You can repeat this, revise this as many times as you want in the matter of just some hours, and that is not possible with this 1800 pages book. So what I did is I created short notes from the book. One more thing, you can see that I'm not able to copy this command if I need to, as this exam is an open book exam. So one more thing I had to make sure is to create a notepad file that would serve as cheat sheet for me during exam, as the test is open book. For this, whenever I came across a new tool, command to use like this, you can see nmap-mtu or any script or anything I could have to use or do in the paper, I noted that in my cheat sheet. Let me open my cheat sheet for you. This is a custom cheat sheet of each and every chapter. So if I would be scanning, I would only open this chapter and I would copy this command related to nmap on my system, and it is these are very short, and if you only want to revise the commands or the scripts, you can only refer to this scanning cheat sheet, and you can copy paste these commands during the paper because it is totally allowed. So what was the step 5? So another question that was popping up in my mind is to how and where to practice. So I collected a lot of tools. Let me see one thing. Okay, so I collected tools featured in CEH Practical Syllabus. Let me show you what are the tools that you need to know before attempting the CEH Practical exam. So this is the folder for that, list of tools or names, tool names used or featured in CEH Practical. These are the tools that you need to know according to CEH Practical exam. This is only the list, not the tools. I had all the tools setups with me in this folder. You can get this material if you want, and I'll show you how. So this is the tools related to each and every section. For example, in system hacking, if you are interested in Steganography tools, these are the two tools. If you are interested in password cracking tool, these are the tools you need to have. So for every chapter there are some specific set of tools that you must know. So what I did is I've installed all those in virtual machine for practice. The only problem that comes is that for some concepts you need a vulnerable environment. So to get an idea in which sequence one would be running commands and how the exploitation would really look like. So to get hands-on experience in guided manner, I purchased subscription of this website, TryHackme, and enrolled in its junior penetration testing learning path, which is 64-hour long. The experience was excellent. This learning path had a section for web, network, burp suite, metasploit, vulnerability research, privilege escalation, and I have completed most of this. You can see that 92% of this path has been completed. So along with solving these rooms, I also recorded all of them on my own channel as well. Let me show you the video tutorials of how to solve these individual rooms. If you'll come to my channel, you'll see that there is a playlist named as Junior Penetration Tester. If you will open this playlist, it has 32 videos. The last, I think so, 4 to 5 videos are missing. So other than that, all of the videos are present in this playlist on my channel, Master Spark. Okay, so along with solving THM rooms, I also recorded all of them and served the dual purpose. I got hands-on experience for paper, and I had content for my YouTube channel as well. After everything I had done, I felt pretty confident to attempt the test, and next thing was to schedule a test. So now we'll discuss that how did I schedule the test. So for that, you need to create an account on proctor.examspecialist.com. So when I first made my mind, I thought I would easily get date after 3 days, and that's where I was pretty wrong. Except Sundays, they only take 6 tests a day and Sundays are off. So I found a vacant space 15 days after the date I was scheduling. So I booked that immediately, and it was 17th of August 2022, 9 a.m. Pakistan time. So here you have to schedule the session. When you'll click here on the schedule session button, you'll select your certification provider, which is EC Council, and then you'll select your exam. Then you'll click on find session, and here on the find session, for example, as they said that you can book the exam 3 days in advance. Let's see if we have date available on 2nd of September. 2nd September. No, we do not have any dates. So you can see, let's see if we have available dates on 10th of September. No, which means that you are not going to get a date in the matter of 5 to 10 days. Maybe you'll have to schedule for 15 to 20 days in advance for this test. So make sure that you book your seat in advance if you need to clear this exam beforehand, or you are not scheduling the exam in the very last days of your exam expiration voucher. So let's move next to my plan B if my electricity or my internet would go down. So this is one of the main concern area, that what would happen if I get internet or electricity breakdown, because in Pakistan we can never be sure about this. So I use 2 smartphones with different mobile networks to ensure unstoppable internet. For power backup, I already had UPS at my home. So there is an exam tip I may forget that I want to discuss here also. Always double check your answers, because answer sheet would be auto graded, and even if the answer is right and only format is incorrect, the answer will be marked as wrong. If in case you fail the exam and you're sure that your answers were correct, request EC Council support team for manual check of your paper, and they may pass you in case your claims were right. But this is in itself a hectic process. So make sure you double check your answers. So now it's time to discuss the things I was most confused about before taking up the CEH practical exam. So let's open the modules first. So these are the modules, 20 modules of CEH practical, and I was sure somehow that there would be a lot of steganography challenges after reading the reviews, and I only found 1 or 2 tools in this steganography tools area. But I was thinking that how would I unstego without password, or what tools are required to brute force stegoed sample. I searched some tools for this, but trust me, EC Council don't want us to go that far. Only provided materials and tools are enough. Confusion 2. I have 15 MBs of ADSL internet, and is that bandwidth is enough? Yet it is more than enough. I have not faced any issue, and also there wasn't any lag. By the way, I had 2 hotspot internet backups and also UPS backup in case of power surge, as already stated. But fortunately, I never had felt necessary to switch to any redundant supplies of mine. Confusion number 3. For some brute forcing, we need Wordlists. So which word list would we be using during the exam? Word lists are given already and there is no need to worry in brute forcing of services. So let's discuss how I started my exam and what mistakes I did initially. Soon after you schedule an exam, a countdown would get started on proctor.exam specialist. Here you will see a countdown on this website, proctor.exam specialist. So once your timer counter drops to 0, you'll get 15 minutes to start the test. Otherwise the test would get cancelled and you won't get a second chance to start the exam. And you'll have to click on the start exam button from aspen.ec council. So on clicking the start exam button, a link for GoToMeeting app will open, and this is GoToMeeting app. A link to GoToMeeting app will open and you will then be connected to Proctor assigned to you by EC Council in this video conferencing application. So I did one mistake that made me a little nervous. I read in some blog to download GoToMeeting app desktop client before the test. Okay, it's asking for my email address now. Let's just open this in Google. So I read in some blog to download this GoToMeeting app desktop client before the test, and I did that, and by mistake I downloaded from the official site but the wrong one application. So I came to know this when Proctor asked me to click on share screen button, and this is what I had downloaded. See the interface by yourself, and if you have downloaded this is the wronger version. So I came to know this when Proctor asked me to click on share screen button, and I said I don't see any button like that. Then again I disconnected my session, clicked on web link, and I saw a new desktop client named as GoToOpener.exe, and then I was able to share my screen with the Proctor. Once connected on GoToMeeting app, Proctor will send you the exam instructions in the chat and will ask you to write I agree in the chat box. Then Proctor will ask you to show your national ID card in the camera for identity verification. Moreover, you would be directed to disconnect headphones or second monitor if you have attached any. Now you would be asked to revolve the laptop camera in room and show everything present. You are not allowed to use mobile phone or talk to anybody during the exam. When Proctor would be sure of your surrounding, then you'll have to log into your Aspen account here, and only the Proctor is able to enter the credentials, and Proctor can only start the exam. Now my exam status is completing and I can't show you that how that is going to be possible. So when the Proctor would enter his credentials, then you'll able to see the test inside your browser. So what is the first look of test? Let me show you by opening the Aspen iLab videos. For example, if you are familiar with this CEH iLabs I had shown you earlier, this is the same interface you are going to see in your browser. The browser tab would be divided into two sections, right section and left section. The right section would have two sub tabs like this. In first sub tab you'll have 20 questions in a list, and the second sub tab is resources. Inside resources you'll get two buttons to switch among two machines, one of which is ParrotOS, which is the Linux, and the second one is the Windows machine. The login credentials to these machines are also mentioned in the resource tab. So when you click the resource tab, you click on Windows and you'll get the interface of Windows here, and when you click on the ParrotOS on resources, you'll get the ParrotOS operating system here. So I don't know why, but ParrotOS was relatively slow than Windows machine. Plus, we are not used to work on browser-based machine, and many shortkeys might not work inside browser because of context-related issues. Another very important question is, does the attacker virtual machines have working internet connection? Yes, they have. Both of the provided machines have working internet connection. In most of the blogs, I read that there won't be any connection on internet on VM, and you have to use host machine for internet, but it was wrong totally because I used internet on these virtual machines by my own self. Let's start with what happened when I started reading the questions from here. As already said, there are total 20 questions here, and each question would carry 1 mark, and you need 14 marks to pass the test. The questions will be of two types, filling the blanks and MCQs. The questions were not straightforward but like a case study, and you have to figure out the technical aspect of what is the actual concern of that respective question. So let's discuss a sample question with you. The developer of company ABC Private Limited was agonized by the behavior of his team lead, and lately he started thinking about leaving the company and take revenge from his management. So he encrypted the company's sensitive file using RC4 encryption. The file is present at desktop of machine. Help the company to read those files content. So this is a sample question. Okay, so you have to figure out how to decrypt the RC4 encryption, and I will show you in the next cryptography section that how to do this thing. Again, this is not an actual question but the glimpse of what to expect as a question. Okay, so quick exam tip. In some blogs, it was recommended to read all the questions here and start with the easy ones. But what happens is once you start reading whole list of lengthy case study type questions, it boggles your mind. And it takes a second step of comparison and analysis to see which questions among these 20 are most easy and prioritize them in order of increasing complexity. But what I recommend is to start from the question 1, and if you feel that you are able to crack this, go for that and then move to the next question. Otherwise, if the situation is other way around, then leave question 1 and move to the next. Okay, so now I am going to discuss my strategy and the strategy I now feel that I should have followed. So let's open my Kali Linux machine as well. So without reading any question, I went straight for Parrot terminal and used this command netdiscover -i then ethernet 0 interface, and then I had entered. I have to run this command using sudo, and it starts searching the IP address present in the network, and it does not have to get any subnet information from you. Okay, I thought that when I would be reading the question, then in the meantime I will get list of all the IP addresses using this netdiscover -i eth0. This command does not require any subnet range and tries to find live host by itself. But the thing is, this was not required at all, because the IP scheme and the subnet was already given, and I was only required to scan 255 hosts, not the whole network range, using this netdiscover, because it takes longer time because you are not starting with any starting point. Okay, so if you know about the subnet, you could have gone with like this, like you do not want to do any port scan and you are only interested in scanning the subnet, for example like this /24, only 255 hosts are need to scan. Then I will output this in a file, for example like this liveips.txt, and I would directly use this command to only scan 255 hosts, because this is class C address. So the following command was enough to serve the purpose, but there was a more simplest solution than this command, and that was on Windows based machine. Let's see if I have advanced. Yes, on Windows machine you will get all the setups of all of the tools that I have here. You'll get a folder like this, and you could just have open the scanning and then PinScript tools and install this advanced IP scanner. This is the interface of advanced IP scanner, and I can have done this also. And this was the most simplest solution from all the three that I have shown you. You just click on the scan and you'll get list here in this GUI, and the results were very handy for further exploration. From this tool you can see clearly which machines have web server, RDP, SSH, FTP, telnet services running, and machines IPs are also resolved to machine names like Ubuntu or Server 2019. So the next thing is privacy policy. All of my exam actions were based on some questions, and obviously I won't mention here all the question and adhere to EC Council's policy. Plus I don't want my certification to get cancelled. But yes, I will definitely mention here the reality and complexity of exam for people who are willing to take this test soon. So let's get back to the exam. So here's how I'm going to proceed further. I'm going to mention list of softwares I used during the paper. So instead of searching for new tools, kindly stick with this folder of provided tools. They are more related and easy to use in exam. Let me share one case study of mine of paper. In one question, I had password of FTP and I had to download a flag file from remote machine, but I forgot the command to download. You know, in FTP, when you need to upload something, you use the put command, and when you want to download something, you use the get FTP command. But I forgot this get command. So instead of wasting my time on internet, I came to Explorer, and then I did this FTP double dot then IP address, and when you'll hit write the IP and hit enter, you are just going to get the folder details of FTP servers in this Explorer like menu, and you can use all the copy paste command. And then I copied on my local system and got the content of flag. So never bang your head on same wall again and again, or at least change the wall. In one situation, I had to brute force FTP. So for brute forcing of FTP, what I did was I did this like this: Hydra -L, then username, it was on the desktop, and -P passwords.txt, and then you just enter the IP address like 192.168.1.3 1.2, and then you have to write FTP double dot. Okay, if the service to break is SSH, then you are going to do this. Okay, I think so only SSH is necessary. You have to check or confirm by yourself. So this was from the scanning section. In cryptography challenges, let's come back to here, and there was a tool named as Cryptool. So this was the tool. It was enough to solve all challenges, but not with absent mind. There were little tweaks. For example, in one challenge, the key length to use was 14-bit, but in Cryptool's drop-down menu, default key lengths were of 8-bit and 16 bits. I had to manually change that to 14 bits. In another challenge, decryption algorithm was mentioned explicitly, explicitly, but hints were there to find out. So keep your mind wide open. Now let's come to the next section, hashing. I was expecting that I would have to use the more sophisticated tools like John the Ripper, or Hashcat, and first I will have to manually determine the type of hashes using hash identifier or hashes.com. You can use these tools to identify the format of hash because they are a different format, and then would have to run some rainbow tables. But questions were very simple. I had to use this website only, hashes.com. Let's see if I can open this. I don't know if this website is not running right now. Hashes.com. Yes, it has responded. So I have to use this website, hashes.com, for hash cracking in 2 questions. CrackStation is also very famous, but on the exam VMs, this CrackStation was not resolved, and I think it was intentional by EC Council. You must know how to use this tool, HashMyFiles, and HashCalc. You also need to know these tools if you want to find the hashes in the bulk like this. Okay, for example, if you have 10 files, in one go you can calculate the hashes of all files using this HashMyFile, and this HashCalc is also required to be used during the exam. So make sure you have some hands on. The next section is of encoding. BC text encoder is the tool that you need to use for the decoding. Like this, if the encoded file has format like this, you need to use this BC text encoder tool. If I can zoom this for you. No, that won't work. Let's see if I am able to open this image in new file. Yes, if you see in some file which is encoded and the starting and ended message is like this, begin encoded message and encoded message, you'll see the variant BC text encoder here. So this is the tool you need to keep in mind if you find some encoded related word in some question. So let's move to Steganography challenges. Very simple question, and password was mentioned as well, and required tool was also present in the same directory as staggered file. So you must know how to use this tool, SNO, for Steganography. Steganography. You must know the command how to use this STO for the Steganography challenges. And in my cheat sheet, I have added this command inside system hacking, I think. Let's see. SNO, yes. So this is the only command you need to know. Okay, you'll pass here this file is to Stego and this is to Unstego. You just enter the password and then the file name. The password would be provided by the question. So let's jump to the next section of mobile hacking. I was not able to solve this question because there was no Android VM running in network, and I had to figure out by myself that there is pcapng file present on Linux, which I have to spend some time on to solve the challenge. But I did not solve this because I was frustrated after 5.5 hours. So I left this challenge blank. And one more thing that I would like to share with you, I don't know in which file it would be, but you must check out this concept, covert TCP, okay, to solve the Android challenges. In case of network hacking, the main challenges related were mostly based on nmap and metasploit scripts. You should have expertise of at least the basic networking. The network pen test main flow was like scan the subnet for live host, scan host by one, and find open ports. Then check the running services. If any service is vulnerable, use search exploit. If the exploit is found, initiate MSF console. Inside MSF, find appropriate exploit and set its required option values and run the exploit. If Metaploiter session received, check your privileges, try to escalate your privileges and find the flag and dump that locally. One very important area is denial of service, and I initially thought that I'm not going to evaluate it against this section because they are not going to say to me that initiate a DOS attack on our machines. Okay, that's something I assume that is not able to evaluate by them. So in this category, you are not supposed to generate denial of service on target, but to figure out the systems which were involved in the attack. That happened sometime earlier. Make sure you are well aware of following filters or areas in Wireshark. Let me open for you the Wireshark first. Wireshark here. So Wireshark is network sniffer and analysis tool. So when you open the pcapng file, it would get opened in this Wireshark, and you need to know this filter. For example, http dot request dot method equal to post or equal to get. if you need to evaluate some HTTP request data. Another important thing is, if you are interested in some IP address, use this filter ip.addr and then write the IP address here. If you need to find some string in the packet, you can click on edit find string and you can write the string here. For example, open VPN. You can see that these are the packets that have this open VPN strings inside it. You can remove this also. Okay, so in DDoS attacks, you know that there would be some IO graph like this, how many data is being exchanged, and then there would be a conversations, like for example, if this IPv4, this address has talked to this address, how many packets they have exchanged, and maybe you get a long list here and you need to know, and they ask for what are the IP addresses that have generated denial of service attack, and you can see from here that how many number of packets are exchanged from each machine to the next one, and whosever packets are of like unlimited speed, you can assume that these are the IP addresses of machines that have generated the denial of service attack. So you must know what this filter is. If you want to know about the endpoints, like how many IPs are there in this pcapng file, you can get this from there. Also, you must know how to follow the TCP stream or UDP stream to assemble the same kind of data, same kind of stream into a very like this readable format. So these are the only filters that you need to know in the Wireshark. Let's move to website hacking. Among victim web machines, almost all of them have some kind of web server running, so to create a confusion. In one machine it was Apache for hosting PHP and WordPress sites, others had IIS running. Some of them had website hosted and others were just displaying IIS default page. I was confused in one thing that I want to share with you people as well. One of the machine had IIS hosted and I was seeing this default page of IIS default page. When I opened the IP inside browser, I was looking at this default page, if I can get this, and I thought that there is like this, and I thought that there is no website present on this machine. But in later question I was asked to test website on same machine, but this time they gave me 2 URLs instead of IPs, and when I used address lookup in CMD, they both were resolved to same IP address, and I did not knew without URLs how can I find out the websites by my own self, as initially I thought there is no sites hosted. So in one machine this DVWA was also hosted. It is the damn vulnerable web application. This is intentionally vulnerable web application, so make sure you go through all of its challenges. These are very good challenges which would help you learn the website hacking, and this is recommended in the book as well and in the iLabs as well. You can also see the videos and learn about these website attack vectors. So the website hacking is sometimes declines toward SQL injection. Other than this, brute forcing login pages, session hijacking challenges were also included. In some questions, SQLite specific tool is mentioned through which you need to solve the challenge and fill in the blank using that specific tool's output. Relax, the tool is same from the book. For example, I had to solve one question using this DSS.py tool. This was the tool through which I had to use. This is the damn small SQLite scanner, and I had to use this tool to solve the SQLite challenges. So make sure to check it out also. Another confusion, it was supposed that CEH tools would be present on Windows machine, and whenever I need some tool on Linux, I'll use command like this from my file system. I'll just do this smb, and then I would write the IP address of that machine, Windows machine, through of which I'll have to download the softwares on Linux machine, but this command didn't work out. I don't know why. So figure out by yourself how you'll copy tool from Windows to Linux if you need to. So till here I tried to guide you as much as possible with tools required, type of questions, my approach to solves, issue I faced during the exam, and things I'm still confused in. So I wish you best of luck in your journey, and I tried to cover each and every aspect. And comment down below if you need to ask something. If you have enjoyed watching this video, if this video was helpful for you, kindly share this, subscribe my channel, and I wish you best of luck for your exam. And if you still have some questions, ask me. I'm also always available for you. Jazakumullahu khair. Allah Hafiz.